Hey everybody, 404 Robbie here. So, I haven't made a video in a little while with BugForge, just because I've been a little busy and I've just been kind of carried away with life. But I really wanted to go through this challenge today because I thought this one was really interesting. So, today we're going to go through one through Sokudo, which, if you've seen my previous videos, you know that we've done this before. But I would really like to kind of show you this one. So, instead of really finagling with the different endpoints, the main goal is to try to find an endpoint that we may not see and if we can use it, right? So here, what we want to do is we actually want to go into our page inspect. So instead of actually going through the source code, it's going to be kind of a pain. Well, let's do the sources. So what we can do is we're going to kind of pull this out a little bit, and we can kind of see different things like dashboard, static, whatever. Let's go through static. Let's go through the information here. Let's go through JS and CSS and see what kind of things are in there. So we see something interesting. We see our app, it just ASS, index.jss, and our components. Let's look at components here for a minute. So here we see all these different things. We see like dashboard, header, JS. But the interesting thing is we see this dashboard by admin dashboard JS. So let's take a look at it. So let's kind of inspect this page. Let's kind of see what's in here. So we kind of see like kind of where this endpoint could be, what it's doing, different things, right? This is actually pretty cool. So this is where we really kind of want to live and see and do some code review, right? So let's see if we can actually find like an endpoint in this whole situation. So let's kind of scroll down a bit. Let's take a look. And I will probably miss it a few times just because, you know, I'm kind of old and I'm not wearing my glasses. So it might take me a minute to find it. But, you know, once I do, it's actually very useful. Okay. So let's see. Sorry, my son's playing with a thing in the background, so I apologize about all the squeaking. All right, so let's see. Let's see if we can find something here. Let's type in like flag. It might help us a little bit. So let's see. We see a couple things. So we do see our axios.get, and we see v2 admin flag. So this is very interesting, right? So what we want to do is we actually maybe want to grab this endpoint. So let's see if we can kind of see if we could do something with this. So let's go ahead and copy that. We'll come back in here and we'll see if anything will pop up. Okay. So we do see access token required. So that's pretty good news. So we know something's working, right? So we see that that could potentially be something useful to us. So let's go back to maybe our login when we first registered and we see if we can grab our like JWT token. I think this is quite important. So let's grab it from authorization. So we'll grab it here. And then we're going to take this HTTP request and we're going to send it to replay. So what we're going to do is we're going to stick our auth token in here just to see if it'll work, see if anything happens. All right, so we see 403 forbidden. We need admin access required. So let's go ahead and take this bearer token and let's see if we can manipulate it somehow. So let's go in here. We're going to come into jwt.io and we are going to see what we can do. So let's just paste this really quick. All right, so we see our basic information. We have our algorithm, what type it is, ID number, username, and role. So let's go ahead and switch this to the encoder. And let's update this. So typically most admins are 1 when it comes to BugForge. Usually the name is usually admin, and then let's go ahead and give our role as admin. Okay, so this is pretty good. And then obviously we may not have the algorithm, so let's do a non-algorithmic attack. So let's go ahead and copy this. So let's see if this might be useful. So let's go ahead and delete this. And we will try it. Okay, so invalid token. So this is very interesting. So what I actually messed up on is I actually added one too many forward slashes. But let's also switch to V1. So V2 is not working. Let's see if V1 will change. And we do. We see that this actually works. So we did get the bug. So the important exercise for this lab is to do code review. You know, kind of go in, look at the source code, see what's available. Because, you know, sure, we can run some fancy tools, find some endpoints, but the big goal is you should try to do like lay of the land, kind of living off the land and try to find endpoints through other means. And I think this is a great way of doing it. And hopefully you guys found some valuable knowledge from this. So guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you.